There's been a lot of conversation lately around soca, and not just the music, but how it's being presented and who gets to be seen. People are noticing that when soca shows up on big stages, on playlists, on global platforms, it often feels like the same handful of artists are being pushed. And even among those who make it, there's still this quiet understanding that the system doesn't always feel fair. That frustration is valid because soca is one of the most diverse genres in the world. So many islands, so many voices, so many stories. Yet, the representation doesn't always reflect that richness. At the same time, we're seeing something else happen. You go to a soca event, and yes, soca is being played. But somewhere in the middle, somewhere along the lines, dancehall, reggae, and soca. Powerful genres, no disrespect. But when people come for soca, they come for that feeling. Soca isn't just tempo, it isn't just season, it's energy, it's freedom, it's release, it's vibration. And then there's the conversation that people are almost afraid to have. For years, it's been the same names at the top. Marshall, Bungie, legends. And they deserve their flowers fully. But culture can't live on legends alone. A living culture evolves when the torch is intentionally passed, not accidentally dropped. And underneath all of this, there's another layer, patriotism. Now don't get me wrong, island loyalty is powerful. It's a part of our pride. It's a part of our identity. But somewhere along the lines, that pride turned into division. You see it in the quiet comparisons, in the subtle dismissals, in the way some islands are elevated while others are downplayed. The relationship between Trinidad and Grenada, for example, two nations that have contributed immensely to soca's energy, sound, and global reach. Yet there are moments of which it seems like one is inferior to the other, as if one is the authority and the other one is secondary. And that mindset doesn't just affect perception, it affects opportunity, visibility, investment, and respect. Soca was never built to belong to one island. It was born from Caribbean convergence, from shared rhythm, shared struggle, shared celebration. So when we let patriotism turn into what seems as hierarchy, we participate in the division programming that weakens the culture from within. Because the world doesn't just see Trinidad soca or Grenada soca. They see soca. And if we fracture ourselves internally, we limit how far the music can really reach. So here's the deeper truth. The issue isn't just who's winning, it's how soca is being positioned. When soca is framed narrowly as seasonal, as regional, as novelty, it limits the space for new artists, new messages, and new sounds to rise. It creates a system where gatekeepers feel safe to repeat what's familiar instead of expanding the culture. So this isn't about favoritism, it's about infrastructure, narrative, vision. Soca was built to be inclusive, uplifting, globally resonant. But if we don't protect that spirit, it risks becoming exclusive, even to its own people. And this is where the shift has to happen. Not through fighting each other, not through tearing down the artists who are already visible, but through expansion. Artists willing to innovate without losing the soul. DJs willing to trust soca enough to let it breathe. Promoters willing to curate instead of dilute. And platforms willing to value vibration, message, and evolution, not just hype. Because when soca is allowed to breathe fully, when it reflects unity instead of rivalry, there's room for everyone to rise. Soca is not scarce energy. There's no shortness of greatness. What's happening right now is a call for awareness, for fairness, and for alignment with the original mission of soca. Soca doesn't need saving. It needs belief in itself. And if we answer that call together, soca doesn't just survive, it's